When the world teaches us to always attack, have you ever noticed how the world seems to celebrate people who are always on the attack? The loudest voices, the boldest personalities, the people who constantly put themselves in the spotlight. It feels as if life is a competition to see who can speak the loudest, who can move the fastest, who can take the biggest risks. But there's something we rarely talk about. Not every victory in life comes from attacking. Sometimes, the greatest victories come from those who know how to endure pressure, to endure doubt, to endure when life keeps testing them. And if there is one footballer who embodies that philosophy, it might be Gabriel Magalhães. Because behind the powerful tackles, the imposing presence, and the calm expression on the pitch, lies a lesson that is much bigger than football itself. A lesson that says, defending doesn't mean you're afraid. In many cases, it's actually one of the bravest things a person can do. The man who never chased the spotlight. When people talk about football, they usually remember the goal scorers, the heroes, the stars, the players whose names echo around stadiums. But Gabriel never grew up as that kind of player. Born in Brazil, a country famous for producing football superstars, he wasn't labeled a wonder kid destined to conquer the world. His journey was quieter, less glamorous, far more uncertain, and perhaps that's exactly why his character developed differently. He became someone who learned how to work without applause, someone who understood the value of doing important things that often go unnoticed. While many players dream of becoming the hero who scores the winning goal, Gabriel built his life around preventing defeat. And without realizing it, that role slowly became part of who he was as a person, not just a footballer, a protector, a guardian, someone willing to do the difficult work that others rarely see. The hardest battles were never on the pitch. As a young man, Gabriel left Brazil to pursue his dream in Europe. From the outside, it sounds like a beautiful story. A young player chasing opportunity. A dream becoming reality? But reality is rarely that simple. Imagine leaving everything familiar behind. Your family, your friends, your language, your culture, and arriving in a place where nobody knows who you are, where you have to prove yourself every single day. Many talented players fail at this stage, not because they lack ability, but because they struggle with the process, because the hardest opponent isn't always standing across from you on a football field. Sometimes it's loneliness. Sometimes it's uncertainty. Sometimes it's the voice in your head asking, what if this doesn't work? That's where countless dreams disappear. Not because people aren't capable, but because they stop believing before the results arrive. Gabriel didn't. He stayed. He worked. He endured. Day after day, year after year, without guarantees, without shortcuts, without knowing exactly when things would finally pay off. The mindset of a guardian. There's a reason Gabriel plays with such intensity. Because psychologically, being a defender requires a very different mindset. A striker can miss chances and still become the hero later. But a defender, one mistake can change everything. One mistake can become the headline. One mistake can define an entire match. That's why defenders need a special kind of mental strength. They must accept responsibility. They must live with pressure. They must be willing to take criticism, and then show up again the next day as if nothing happened. Gabriel embodies that mentality. He has faced criticism. He has made mistakes. He has been questioned. But what's interesting isn't the criticism itself. It's how he responds to it. He doesn't run away. He doesn't hide. He doesn't completely reinvent himself every time people doubt him. He keeps showing up. He keeps competing. He keeps defending. And maybe that's where his greatest strength lies. Because true mental toughness isn't about never falling. It's about refusing to stay down. A philosophy most people overlook. One of the biggest misunderstandings in life is the belief that defending is a sign of weakness. That if you're not attacking, you're afraid. That if you're quiet, you're not brave. But reality often tells a different story. It takes courage to stay committed when everyone else tells you to quit. It takes courage to remain calm when everyone else is panicking. It takes courage to protect something valuable when everyone else is chasing something new. And that's the philosophy hidden inside Gabriel's story. As a defender, his role isn't to attract attention. His role is to protect, to secure, to preserve. His work may not always earn headlines, But without people like him, everything can fall apart. And the same principle applies far beyond football. Protecting your family, protecting your relationships, protecting your values, protecting your dreams. None of these things are easy. All of them require courage. Maybe we're all defenders in our own way. Because if we're honest, most of us are not living under stadium lights. Most of us are not the stars of the show. Most of us are simply trying to protect something important. We're protecting our families, our future, our responsibilities, our hopes, our commitments. And just like defenders, we rarely receive applause for it. Nobody celebrates the sacrifices we make every day. Nobody sees every difficult decision. Nobody notices every battle happening inside our minds. But that doesn't make those battles any less important. In fact, those invisible battles may be the ones that define us the most. The ability to keep going when nobody is watching. The ability to stay patient when progress feels slow. The ability to remain loyal to what matters. That's a different kind of strength. And perhaps a more meaningful one. The highest form of courage. Gabriel Magalhães may be known as a footballer, a defender, an elite athlete, but his story offers something far more valuable than football. It reminds us that life doesn't always ask us to attack. Sometimes life simply asks us to hold our ground, to stay patient a little longer, to stay strong a little longer, to keep believing a little longer. Because not every victory arrives with cheers and celebrations. Some victories happen quietly, when you refuse to give up, when you keep standing, when you continue protecting what truly matters. And perhaps, that is the greatest lesson Gabriel Magalhães can teach us. Defending doesn't mean you're afraid. Sometimes, defending is the highest form of courage a human being can possess.